settle in. Let's bring it in. You know the deal, man. MIC Podcast, episode 148, where everyone is a master of their own creation. Our guest today is another person who is super involved in their community. They want to, or their work involves just providing a safe space for adults, kids, and really just anyone in the community, enriching them, providing programs, and really just trying to elevate the community from the ground up. I have the president, founder, and CEO of JADA House International, Elder Terri Shields, in the building. Elder Shields, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. No, it's a pleasure to have you. I was reading up on your work. Super extensive career in, again, just enriching your community and wanting to just push the marginalized people and like the at-risk youth forward. And I think it's super honorable work that you're doing.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
As all work is. So I understand you grew up in Hazelwood.
Long life resident of Hazelwood.
Yeah.
All my life. Broadview Drive.
If you want to talk in the mic, yeah, just put up right
Broadview Drive, Cove Place. All my life.
Okay.
I thought I was grown for a minute and moved away, but I came back.
Right. And that's usually what that does when you think you've grown and you try to, prove your grownness.
Right. I got to go back.
It'll humble you. What was your childhood like? How would you describe it?
I was the only child for 9 years.
Wow. Okay.
And then my sister came, unfortunately, but I love her. I love her. My little sister, I don't know if you know Demetria Bocello, but that's my younger sister. I'm the oldest. She does stuff in the city of Pittsburgh too, Fashion Africana. But our childhood was good. It was really good. The community always came together.
Yeah.
And we used to have things to do and places to go.
Right.
I like to dance, so we had dances, and then at the rec center there was cooking classes, sewing classes, and stuff like that,
right.
where it all diminished, as time evolved and states and federal government programs closed up on us, so we had to find other things to do.
Right.
And it's a shame that we did have to do that, because that led me down a spiral hill because there wasn't nothing for me to do.
Right. And just even kind of thinking back to the Hazelwood community at that time, and like, I know you just mentioned programs were closed down, facilities and things of that nature. But as it stands now, what do you think the community in Hazelwood is missing the most right now?
We're missing the unity of the programs.
Right.
There's organizations that create programs for kids and
right.
adults to do, but we need to be more unified.
Yeah.
I was just doing a interview where I stated that collaboration is a big thing.
Right.
It helps you to last longer.
Right.
So if we could all collaborate together as an BPOP community, then I think it would be awesome.
Do you think there's resistance to collaboration, or it just doesn't really come up in conversation during these efforts?
I think there's somewhat resistance, but you have to be selective on who you collaborate with.
Of course, right, yeah, right.
Right, so I'm not dismantling any other communities.
Of course, right.
Organizations in the community.
Of course.
But you must be selective on who you collaborate with. But I don't think there's no resistance. It's just being selective.
Yeah, definitely. So how early do you recall wanting to work within your community to the extent that you do?
Well, we just celebrated 10 years last year.
Congratulations. I did see that, this past October, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I'm a lupus survivor, and in 2012, I had a congestive heart failure. So I feel like God gave me third chance.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you what the other two chances
Absolutely.
were. But he gave me a third chance, so I wanted to give back. So what I decided to do was start cooking in my home and getting women together, and we talk about our different challenges, whether it was children dying of gun violence or whether it was different chronic illnesses. We would talk about those things, and I would cook.
How long ago was that?
That was 2012. It was 10 years ago.
Okay, wow, yeah, okay.
And I would cook meals, and we would sit down and we would eat, and we would talk about programs we could create in the community, like community annual events.
Yeah.
And that's where we came up with a back-to-school program, a senior luncheon program, and a Christmas drive.
Okay.
But in the interim of that, I was taking care of my grandchildren, 3 of them at the time.
Right.
So they found out or seen how much fun we were having downstairs, so they wanted me to start something for them.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I was working a full-time job.
Mm-hmm.
So Monday nights was the women's night, and Thursday nights was the teen night. So that went on for about 4 years, and it was just a hobby, just something to do. I had another chance, so I said, let me do something.
Right.
And spending all my money, buying this and that and the third, but Heinz Endowment came to Hazelwood.
Yeah, I did see that you got the other Heinz.
They did a pilot for merging organizations. Well, I thought my organization was unique, so I didn't want to merge.
100%.
So we got our 501c3 in 2016. We applied for it in 2015. We got it in 2016.
Nice.
2017, Heinz gave us $25,000. That was our first $25,000 mini grant.
That's insane.
And we moved out my house after the 4 years. We were in my house for 4 years. And then we moved into a community outreach center for 7 years.
Okay.
And now we have our own space.
That's crazy.
So once I overcame that, because it was started off with the kidney failure and then the congestive heart failure. So once I overcame that, then in 2014, I decided, let me do something.
Right.
Now, I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I wanted to do something because I was given a second chance to do something. So I wanted to do something, encourage, enlighten, and inspire. And food is a comfort. You know, I can cook.
Yeah, no. I listen. I don't doubt that. Yeah. It's like, you know.
They knew there was a meal every Monday.
Yeah. Right. I can at least get the good food. I can at least get the good food, get the community. And it's funny that you even say that. I'm not sure if you heard of the Artist Talk Mental Health cohort, but it's just a cohort created by Cindy Davis and others. If I'm forgetting you, please forgive me. I know again, CC Calhoun is a part of the team. And if I'm forgetting you, I do apologize. But she has created just a cohort of creatives, and they get together for about a few months. Just once a month, they all meet and talk about grants, talk about just things that creatives should have in their tool belt, and just not even creatives, purely, but just people that are looking to, elevate themselves, mentally, financially. And a big part of these cohorts is the food. It's always incredibly catered. And just like the way Cindy puts it, food is a part of mental health.
Absolutely.
It truly is. It's a comfort. There's also a sense of community when you're eating. It's a communal thing. Right. So I love that you said that. And just even with those meetings early in your house, what was the initial reception like, and how did you see that space, affect people positively?
It started out with like 3 women.
Yeah.
I said, that's okay.
Yeah.
And the word got out. She cooks. So we ended up having like 15 women in my house.
That's crazy.
And there was always guest speakers.
Wow.
And people would come, like Pastor Tim from Center of Light. He would come. That's my hero.
Right.
He would come and speak to us about maybe Black history or about how he started. We had Pastor Nate Carter would come and talk. We had different variety of people that would come and enlighten us with some inspiration.
Sure.
And then we had our own talks.
Right.
Just challenging, like what was challenging today? What did you have to work with today?
Right.
How was your day? Stuff like that. So once we kind of got to know one another, because I think it started off like a hen thing.
Yeah.
And I said, no. This is something where we can share and not be judged about what we share.
Right.
And keep this in this space right here. There was a non-judgment space.
Right.
And what you bring here stays here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the way I really felt about that.
Absolutely.
And if I felt like you were out of pocket in like distributing people's, misfortunes.
Right.
Or even their victories.
Right.
Wrong.
Yeah, because, you're breaching the space regardless.
Exactly. And then you make people not want to come to the space.
Exactly. Right.
So, the space stayed with a group. And we still meet Monday nights.
Beautiful.
But we meet on Zoom.
Yeah, okay.
Since COVID.
COVID and all that. Yeah. Zoom. Yeah, right.
I think they really like that space.
Yeah.
Just to be able to release.
As anyone would, yeah.
And breathe.
100%.
And breathe.
So when you were having the guest speakers come through, was that a part of your network? Was it just people that you were just cold, reaching out to, or?
It was part of the community network.
Okay.
Some of my network, some community network. And when I would ask them, to come, they would be more than willing to come. And
Absolutely.
they came and talked. And We even had like a 1-year anniversary in the library, but they would come and talk, and I was grateful for that. Very grateful for that.
100%.
And then, then we had the kids.
Yeah.
And we had guest speakers for them too.
Yeah.
We had Muzmeyer come and talk to them about entrepreneurship, resume writing. We had Renee Aldridge come and talk about her softer side seminar to the kids. So I would bring people in. What was it? AIDS task force came and talked to the kids about, diseases and stuff like that.
Right.
And they loved it too.
Yeah.
And I would take them on trips, eat the dinner,
take them
to Kennywood, stuff like that. I did my best with that in that early part of the program.
No, 100%. I know when, at least initially, when you were pursuing degrees, you were juggling a lot, full-time job, raising 3 children. I can't even wrap my head around that, because just thinking back to when I was in college, I could barely look after myself, let alone, 3 other lives. So I just wanted to ask, like, what did that experience teach you at the end of the day? What did you pull from having to juggle all those?
I think back today and think back, how did you do all this stuff?
Right.
My drive is not different from anybody else's. It's just a drive that I'm persistent, and I want to make something happen. So I did what I could. And the job was really easy. But the 9th year of JADA House, I said, I got to leave this job. So I did an early retirement. And
what made you want to leave?
The job? Because I wanted to focus more on JADA House International. So, and give more of my time to JADA House, like really be involved like I was involved in my job when I first started, because I really liked my job. I was a good employee. I stayed there for a long time, 22 years.
Wow.
And
you worked at the UPMC health plan, right? Yeah, nice. Yeah, for 22. Yeah, that's crazy.
So I stayed there, and I told my manager, I think I'm going to do an early retirement. And she said, are you? And I said, yeah. She said, my girlfriend did one, and da-da-da. But she didn't know it was going to be like in 2 weeks.
A true 2-week notice, yeah.
So, I trained the person that I worked with, helped her out. My mother said never burn bridges. So I helped her out.
Yeah, right.
And then she said, I didn't know it was going to be so soon. And I said, me neither, but it was time. It had to be God's time. Couldn't be my time, because I wanted to leave a couple times.
Of course.
Like I had boxes packed up under my desk, like I'm ready to
go.
Boxes,
yep.
But it wasn't time yet. But when it was time, then I left, and I don't regret it. I don't regret it at all.
Of course not. Right. I mean, and just look at what you've built with JADA House, and just look at the work you're doing. I mean, obviously it was the correct choice.
It's very surreal.
Yeah, I'm sure. So when would you say, like, you start, like, would you say 2012 was when you started getting involved in, like, the nonprofit space?
2014.
2014,
yeah,
okay.
2014. I think about, like I said, I sit back and think, I didn't know a lot, but a lot of people like me, right? And it's nice to have favor with different funders.
100%.
Right? And to this day, they still kind of like me, but it was just nice.
Yeah.
And sometimes people see something in you that you don't see in yourself.
I was just talking to my mom about that the other day.
And they want to help you. You know, they want to help you evolve. Because I remember I found a grant writer. I had to meet with him like 3 times.
Yeah.
And then once he thought about the vision, he said, okay, you got me. So he's been with me for like 7 years.
Right.
And then he introduced me to my bookkeeper.
Yeah.
And he introduced me to my accountant. So I had all 3 of those before I even had staff.
Those connections.
So we had the connection. And I remember when he knew somebody from the Opportunity Fund, Tiffany, I can't think of her last name, but Jake Goodman, he wanted to meet with me.
Dang.
And I was like, Zach, you want to come with me? He said he wants to meet with you. You'll be fine. Just tell your story.
Yeah, it's a fun.
And I went and I told my story, and we got the grant.
Absolutely.
So, like, it was just, I don't know. It's very surreal, because it was just a hobby. It didn't start off to be nothing really big, but it just grew like a weed. It just kept growing and growing and growing, and I'm grateful for that.
Absolutely.
Really grateful.
It just shows that, again, you're in your purpose, because when stuff just starts to fall in line like that, just kind of in line with who you are and what you want to do, that's just, you're in the right place.
Right, right. And so what happened after we left our space? We stayed in our space for a while because we just created new programs recently.
Nice. Congratulations.
My dad, he stayed with me for a while until he passed, but he had dementia. So I didn't understand dementia.
Of course, yeah.
So that's why we got Seniors Going Strong. So parents and not parents, children of the parents and the parents can understand what dementia, Alzheimer, hot starts, nutrition, all that kind of stuff. So that's how Seniors Going Strong developed.
Right.
And then the JADA Gems, we had teen night. Teen night didn't sound right. So we got JADA Gems, Guiding and Empowering Minds for Success. So we do an after-school program at Propel Hazelwood.
Yeah.
Which we started that last year, and it was a success.
There you go.
And they want us back, and he referred us to other Propel schools, Propel Braddock, Propel Homestead. So we're going to try to talk to them, and see, but we only have 3 staff, so we'll see what we can do. But and then we have the kinship program, because I was raising my grandchildren, 3 of them, and I figured when you get children unexpectedly. And you already raised your children,
right?
It's a little stressful.
I mean, 100, because you're not even prepared for anything like that.
They just show up,
right?
So I created a program where we can build a village of grandmothers or grandfathers. We haven't had our first. We haven't had our first grandfather yet.
Okay.
So we created. It's a cohort. It's an 8-week cohort. At the end of the 8 weeks, you get a $100 gift card.
Nice.
You're done.
Okay.
Even with the kids, after your cohort, they get a $100 gift card, and they're finished.
Right.
We feed them.
Right.
Sometimes I cook home cooked meals.
Right.
Take it to them, but sometimes I order out.
More of the story: Terri will feed you if you're looking for food. Please hit up Terri Shields if you are hungry. So how did you even come into raising your 3 grandkids?
To be honest with you, I don't know. But I really don't. They just showed up.
I'm crying, yeah. Well, this is a story all about how.
Yes. So, they just showed up, and, my aunt said, I said, well, because I wasn't ready. I said, I can't do this, She said, no, you can't separate them and, put them in the system.
Yeah, right. Facts, yeah.
Okay, so I'll see what I can do.
All right, I guess. Yeah, you're right.
All right. So I was still working.
Right.
And I was going to school, too, at the time.
Okay.
So my aunt and my mom, they helped me out.
Right.
They would stay at my aunt's for the week while I worked. And I had the worst pick of the weekend to have weekends. So weekends is when I want to go out.
Yeah, of course. Right.
So, but I believe that, in all sincerity, that they saved my life, right? Because I thought I could just do whatever I want to do because I had no kids no more, no responsibilities. But it kept me grounded. It kept me because I was a young grandmother.
Yeah.
So it kept me grounded to be a real grandmother, right? So and they saved my life, because when I was having an episode of the congestive heart failure, I couldn't breathe. They called 911. They were there, that type of thing.
100%.
So it was a blessing in disguise,
Right.
and right now we have kinship. So that was, I think it was a negative piece that turned into a successful piece.
Absolutely.
I didn't understand it then, but God is very strategic, and He planned it that way. And now looking out for grandmothers that are raising their grandchildren. And I did a piece with Public Source about grandmothers raising grandchildren. And there's like 7 million over the United States that grandmothers are raising their grandchildren.
Right. It seems when you see something or experience something, your mindset shifts to how can I help anyone else who's going through this. Where do you think that comes from for you?
My mom. Because when we were living in the projects, she had Bible studies and stuff like that, and she helped a lot of people with clothes, and she helped people who didn't have nowhere to stay. Her husband was a good husband, because I don't know if my husband would have did it, but I don't have one.
Yeah,
he let families come stay with them, but they didn't have anywhere to go. So I knew she was doing that, but I was grown then, and I was gone doing my thing. But I think I picked up where she left off at.
Right.
And it just stuck.
Yeah.
It really stuck.
100%. And I'm so many people have benefited from just from that instinct. It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
No, I'm a sensitive soul.
Okay,
so
yeah.
I listen a lot, and I try to hear. I don't talk a lot.
Yeah.
And I like to be up under the table behind the scenes.
Right.
But I found out that I can't do that anymore. But I still have that piece of sensitivity to hear what's going on and to see what's going on and try to. You can't save all the fish in the ocean, but if you can save one, that means a lot to me.
100%. Why do you think you can't necessarily stay back as much anymore? Just because you feel like you have to be at the forefront to make these things? I have to be at the forefront.
Okay. I'm the face.
Yeah, right. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, right?
No, it's not. It's just that I'm just okay, we can get it done. You don't need no pictures. You just put my name down if you want to.
Right.
So even when he asked me to do the podcast, I was like, okay, I'll do it. I have to do it.
Yeah, right, yeah. Because who else is gonna? It's literally my organization, right?
Exactly.
Right. So no, it's just it's funny just to hear, like people in those positions be like, I actually don't even want to be in front of the lights, the camera. I just want to do my thing and watch it grow and watch it flourish. Yeah, right.
And that's what I did. I watched it grow, and then after a while, then I found out.
No.
You can watch it grow, but you have to be in the growth.
Yeah, you got to be an active part of the growth for sure. I do want to speak on the Heinz endowment for sure. Was that something that you knew about? How did that even come across your desk to pursue?
Do you really want me to talk about that number?
Yeah. No, I mean, of course,
kidding. Yeah. There's Hazelwood Green. It's in Hazelwood, and I don't want to separate the two.
Yeah.
Hazelwood is Hazelwood. When you separate the two, then that's when you have confusion. So they came because that land down there where the steel mills were at, they had a piece of buying it with RK Mellon and the rest of them, whoever, was involved.
Right.
And so to get us involved in what they were doing down, because I was the chair of the Greater Hazelwood Community Collaborative. Worst job I ever had, but it helped me to understand infrastructure. It helped me to understand how the water is draining and all that kind of stuff, and how we need trees and how we need bus shelters and, how we need sidewalks and stuff like that. So that's how I met a lot of university people and met a lot of the funders. So they decided to come. Michelle Figler, who's on my board, she used to work for Heinz Endowment. She's now working for the Benedum Foundation, but she came to Hazelwood to help the people because she's from to help us, the organizations. And, or I'll say Heinz. I want to say she because they might say, what do you mean she? She ain't had no money. We had the money.
I'm crying.
But she helped the community, and they came with this pilot that I didn't know about. So at the time when they came for the pilot, my 501c came just in time.
Wow, okay.
Because it came in 2016, and we got the money in 2017.
Wow, and you said you were working with a grant writer.
Yeah.
What made you seek him out to even? Because just with grants, I won't even lie. Like I moved here 4 years ago now, but I didn't even know grants were a thing. And then I found out about them. I'm pretty sure it was Sydney again, the person who founded Artists Talk Mental Health. She was talking about them, and she's a huge proponent of them. Has benefited a lot from them. And I was like, wait, they gave you how much? And you didn't, like, you had to write what? But obviously they're not just giving away money, but like, you have to have an active effort in just knowing what you want to do with the money, how you want to allocate that.
Absolutely.
But they will give you the money though.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and like that, like it's available.
Good proposal.
Yeah, 100%. You have to, and that was really what we were talking about at our last cohort. Is like all it really is just selling what your idea is, what your project is.
I'm not going to tell my secret till we're off camera.
No, of course, and like you please don't. Like don't give them the sauce up front, but that's really the game of it all. Is just selling yourself and just aligning yourself with organizations that align with what you're even trying to do. So what even made you want to seek out a grant writer? Like how'd you even know that was someone you would need?
The people that I was around in the Monday night meeting.
There you go. Okay, yeah.
Spider right grants. And then somebody was telling me we need a sign-in sheet. You need to spread, and these people have passed since then. Wow. You need a sign-in sheet. You need to so when you go to the funders, you'll have numbers of people who participate in your agendas and what you talk about. So I was involved with Pastor Tim, and he was involved with the Holocaust Center. And I went down there one day, and we seen the presentation, and the one lady said, "Come back and get some comic books for the kids."
Oh, I mean, I'm a comic fan, so I love that.
So I went and got the comic books,
yeah.
and he was at the counter. And I said, "I'm picking up the comic books. By the way, do you write grants?"
Oh, shit. It's pulled up on the air.
And so I said, "I need a grant writer." And he said, "Okay." He said, "But I have to hear your, what you're
sure,
what you
yeah,
want."
right.
So we met one day at the Squirrel Hill Coffee Shop. Then we met another time in East Liberty, and then the last time we met at my house, I cooked breakfast, and I think that's what that.
There it is, yeah.
So he said, yes.
That breakfast must have been the breakfast, breakfast.
Was. I put my foot in it. But he believed in the vision.
Absolutely.
Right? He believed in what I was doing. And like I said, he believed in it so much that he's still with me.
Right.
Writing these grants. Mm-hmm. So I didn't know about grant writing. Like I said, this is very surreal for me because there was a lot. I don't even know how I lasted this long without knowing all the pieces to the puzzle.
Right.
I'm starting to learn the pieces to the puzzle, and I'm like, how did you last this long? But the grace of God.
Absolutely.
He came and kind of saved the day.
What other parts besides the grants, like, do you think, that you're missing or that you're still trying to learn?
I just hired a federal state grant writer.
Okay.
Grant writer.
Yeah, we literally just talk about that as well. Yeah. Facts. It's levels. It's definitely different.
There's levels.
100%.
And he didn't know how to write. He doesn't know how to write the state because it's extensive. Mm-hmm. So he knows to write local. Mm-hmm. And I was disappointed when we missed the grant because I said, "Okay, you got this." He's like, "Yeah," and he was like, he's like, I don't understand. I was like, "Don't tell me nothing at the last minute because we can't be missing no money, right?"
Yeah.
So I start looking.
Right.
And my friend Tyann Battles from ACH Pathways, she said, "Miss Terri, I have a federal grant writer," and so now I have a federal grant writer.
Wow.
He sends stuff to us.
Yeah, right. Is it just the difference in the amount of money? Like, is it just more money at the federal? It's a difference in the
amount of money, and it's a difference in it's not corporate. You know what I mean? It's not like the local corporate jargon stuff. Mm-hmm. You have to get involved with state representatives, councilwomen, councilmen,
right?
Because they help you.
A lot of literal politics, right? Yeah.
And I'm not, but I just got approved to be on the PA Council of Aging with Governor Shapiro's office.
Okay.
So I had to get a reference letter.
Congrats, that's awesome.
Somebody referred me.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
They said you need a reference letter from your I don't want to mess it up, but Jay Costa.
Okay.
Our state representative. I think that's what no, he's not. He's not. I'm sorry, Jay. I'm sorry. But he wrote me a reference letter so that I can be on the council.
Okay.
So now I'm on the council, and I'm trying to advocate
that's awesome.
for our seniors.
Absolutely.
Those are my peeps.
Absolutely. I want to take the clock back again, October 2014. It was the first year of JADA House. So just kind of walk me through the inception of JADA House. How did that come to fruition?
I went to my church. I was going to do that at my church. Mm. And I talked to my pastor, and I told him, I want to do something in my house, like a cell group that can come in fellowship. Mm-hmm. And he said yes at first. And then he said, well, let me think about this. Let me have a meeting or something with his staff or whoever. And I said, because when he said yes, I'm like,
it's lit.
I'm there.
Yeah, we lit.
So when he said, I was like, you know what? You guys have your meeting. I'm going to have it at my house, right? Because I don't want to, I might not have wanted to do it if I had to wait. Mm-hmm. So and then I said, Terri, you said Monday, you got to get cleaning products and all that. You got to clean up, got to get food. So, and we had it Monday. Like I said, it was only started off 2.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah.
It grew. And we would come in, we would pray together, we would eat together, we would talk together. We would do everything together. Like I said, it started off like, a hen peck discussion or something like hens is cackling and talking about people. And I said, this is not what it's about. We're trying to encourage people.
Too much key going there. Yeah, right. Let's calm it down. Let's get vulnerable.
So, and like I said, I wanted to be, I had made up a statement of, what we discuss here stays here, that type of thing.
Okay.
I made up agenda. We're going to discuss this or we're going to discuss that. And we would discuss it. And then my aunt would come and she would bring some of her friends because she liked it.
Right.
My mom would come. Some of the people from the church would come sometimes. And different people, like I said, word of mouth. And I would end up with. And then we end up doing a video. Tim asked WQED to do a video at my house.
Dope.
And that was my first video in my house with the kids and the adults.
Wow.
So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Did you have a name for this when it was at your house initially? Because I know JADA is an acronym and like it's escaping me right now. But did you have that at the start of it?
I was at UPMC dueling.
Wow. Okay, this is so dope. Wow. Yeah.
And was no, and I in a JADA, I'm like, let's see, Jakir. I was listing my oldest grandchildren.
Yeah.
Andre, Miguel, Aaron, JADA. That's a good name. And then I did house, and then the international piece is like adopting love and servanthood and all that. And I took it to my manager and I said, I'm going to start something. And she said, okay, you could do that. And I was like, I'm serious. And so it was supposed to start off as a girls group home.
Right.
That's what it was supposed to start off
at. Okay.
Because I worked for Family Links part-time.
Okay.
So, and next thing I know, that's what it was called. And it's not a girls group home.
Yeah.
It's a multi-generational piece.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's how it started.
Yeah.
On a piece of paper.
And what does the acronym stand for, Jay?
Those are my grandchildren's first initial, the older ones.
Okay.
And like there's 3 D's, there's 2 A's.
Yeah.
And then there's 1 J.
That's beautiful. So like
they can't believe it.
Yeah, I'm sure. What are their thoughts on like with just even seeing it grow the way it has?
Like, man, I'm getting tired of people saying, I know your grandma. I see your grandma on TV or whatever.
Yeah.
You must be proud.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Your grandma's lit out here. Like, come on. I was just curious, were there any setbacks or obstacles as far as just getting the organization off the ground?
To be honest, again, I didn't think it was going to get off the ground. I thought we won't be in my house for, I don't know, not forever.
Yeah.
For like a long period of time. And when Hans came to Hazelwood and they was like, maybe you should try to get this grant because you're spending your money going in debt to
all this food and cleaning
that. So, so when I presented my program to the people who helped us write the grant because Zach didn't help me write the Hines grant. Hines helped us all, whatever organization was in Hazelwood. They took us, individually and helped us write these grants. They asked us what do we want to do, and then there's another piece that I didn't know at the time, but I know now, your worth, because they asked me what do you want to get, and I was like, I don't know, Now today, I know.
Yeah.
Because it's your time. It's your running around. It's all that
stress.
That part too.
Right.
And I really didn't know at the time. So, they came and they helped us write the grant. So that's how I initially wanted to seek the grant out, because they were telling me, the women, you need to take advantage of that. So I was like, okay.
So like pretty much once you got the grant, it was just boom.
It's just we had a $25,000 budget because that's what they gave us. Now we have a $325,000
There you go. That's
budget.
Crazy. Yeah.
And I had to get rid of some of my board members because they were my mom and my aunt.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know.
Yeah. Right.
But once I figured it out,
yeah,
I said, let me get some people that can help me with some resources.
What, as far as the business piece goes, because there's a saying like, it's nobody's business to teach you business, and you just said that, you had to get rid of some of your original board members, and obviously I'm not saying like there was any bad blood, but it's like, it's always just hard to have that discussion with someone you care about and love, and like, there,
especially my aunt, and not God rest her soul, but God bless her. She was like the person was in charge of like the money and writing the checks. But when we have events, I wanted her to separate Like this is for the blast
food
off,
or whatever. Yeah, right. Okay.
And she didn't know how to do that.
Yeah,
she's older.
Yeah, sure.
But she kept good records, like receipts. She's old school. She did all that.
Right.
So when I got the bookkeeper was very grateful to her the way she kept them, because she didn't have to do a whole lot of work. She had January, February, March, all that together.
Nice, yeah.
So, and then my mother, she's getting older too, so she didn't believe. She was a secretary.
Yeah,
so she was like okay with it.
Yeah.
And then I wrote a real nice letter, real nice email, I'll say, to them, letting them know that, as time moves on and things grow, things change, we need to evolve.
Absolutely.
And I really appreciate all your efforts and all what you've done, and so they were okay with it, except for my aunt.
Yeah.
She's
still a little salty. Yeah. But it's just, just cook for auntie one time, and just make auntie the one meal.
Exactly. So, but learning and growing is a part of life.
Absolutely.
Whether it's a nonprofit, whether it's just life, period. Learning and grow is a part of life. So the people that are no longer on the board still support JADA House.
Absolutely.
Which is nice.
No, 100%. And where do you think, did you just seek out this knowledge again just for the business piece by yourself? Was there anyone that you looked for as far as mentorship in this realm?
I'm gonna shout out Pace.
Well, okay.
Because I got involved with Pace through a mutual friend, and there were I want to say cohort trainings that talk to you about what a working board is,
right,
and how you should select your board and who should be on your board.
How should you select your board?
By putting out ads and interviewing, right, and also the people that should be on your board, like your treasurer, like a lawyer, an attorney, stuff like that. I didn't know, right? Because we still don't have an attorney, so we need one. Right?
Yeah, right.
And it should be a working board. They should be sometimes donating. If they can't donate, maybe volunteering. They can't volunteer, maybe giving me resources to help me to connect to other resources, stuff like that.
But it should be working, though.
Exactly. And the board that I have now is working very well for me, which I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
They show up.
What do you think the biggest light bulb that you clicked, just again, as far as the business end goes for you? When you learned this, you were like, I don't even know where I would have learned this if it wasn't for, just what I'm pursuing.
It's just, because I'm the co-chair of the GPNP, workforce co-chair. So they have a lot of cohorts that I go to and listen, and I'm, part of the Greater Pittsburgh nonprofit organization. So Fred Brown's a big piece of me knowing a lot of stuff, because he had a lot. Like, I learned how to golf. Yeah. In the golfing, the 36 golf cohort, he had presentations on how to treat your staff. But my learning I think my learning came from my job. Like how to treat people, what to do and what not to do. UPMC was a good learning battlefield for me. I didn't think it was, but now I know it was.
Right.
At the time, it was like, okay, working here, get my paycheck, blah, blah, blah. But then when I left, I said, okay, thank you. Okay, now I know now I know what to do.
Yeah.
So it was everybody's. Everybody teaches me.
Yeah.
Everybody teaches everybody if you're listening.
Yeah. No, and just even from our conversation right now, I already tell, like, you never stop learning, which is such a key component in just evolution and growth in life. You just always got to be receptive to learning.
You should be, because listening is a skill. Like, shut up. Listen.
Right.
You learn something. Right. You can't overtalk people. And I'm a quiet person sometimes when I need to be.
Right.
And I like to listen. I like to learn. I'll be getting my master's degree in May.
Yeah, I saw that when we're going to talk about that. Absolutely.
But, I don't even know why I did that. But that's more debt. But anyway.
Shout out to the degree, though. Shout out to the MBA.
Shout out. But funny. Yeah, you learn from. Because you can't learn from everybody. So
right,
you
learn.
You have to,
and that's also a piece. You definitely can't learn from everybody. No. You got to choose who you learn from.
Exactly.
For sure.
Your own discernment.
Absolutely. Discernment is key.
if that sounds right, if it makes sense.
The blind cannot lead the blind.
I'm like, make it make sense.
Yeah.
Especially if it don't make sense.
Yeah, the blind cannot lead the blind. But the only reason I even asked that question when it pertains to business, because me and Mike are going to just talk about finances, all the time. And he's just put me on to so many things, just like as far as finances go. But every time I'm learning some of these new aspects, it's just like, where would I have learned this if I didn't know you? Or like if I wasn't talking to you? Like some of this stuff is just like you can't even, because you don't know what you don't know.
You don't know.
So it's like you don't even know that you got to seek out certain information. So it's like, how did you, like, it just baffles me when it's like, you get this valuable information and it's like, where else would I would have learned this?
I learned from like, funders.
Yeah.
People, because like I keep saying, it's surreal, and it really is, because how did I last for 9 years by myself?
Yeah, right.
Without staff.
Right.
I keep saying, I don't know, but God sends resources, He sends people to teach you. If He wants you to carry out this mission or His vision. Because if it was my mission or my vision, I'd take a nap. I wouldn't be talking to you.
If it was my vision, we'd be napping.
Right. So, and then I always think about, my age. Like, why did you take so long to give me this vision? Like, I'm all tired now.
Yeah, right. That's funny.
But He does it when it's supposed to be done. His
timing is never,
it's His
correct.
time.
Yeah, it's His timing, right.
And He just sends. Like this year, I have 3 collaboratives that kind of baffles me. I never thought I would have those collaboratives that I have. So, like I said, He sends people. I learn from people. I listen, and it works. It just works. I don't, I can't pinpoint
fully
a
explain.
specific
Yeah, absolutely right.
That really taught me.
Moment or right.
Multiple people.
Right.
And I chewed up what I wanted to chew and swallow.
No,
and spit out the bones.
Yeah, and I also think that is a great school, because like you mentioned discernment earlier. It's like you don't have to necessarily absorb everything. Exactly. You like it's the filter aspect of it. It's like, I could use this. This is a jewel. I could use that. And then everything else, I don't know if you know this saying, like if it don't apply, let it fly.
Let it fly.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. I think that is, it's a funny saying, but I think it's true.
It's very true. And you can't take everybody's opinion.
Yep.
Like, you should do this. Not like we have to discuss it. I already know in my head we're not doing that.
It's just what I'm saying. You have to check the source too, because it's just like, you should do this, and it's just like, have you ever done anything that you're even suggesting me to do? Yeah, you're wild.
Exactly. So I'm like, we'll have a discussion, and then I don't initiate discussion because they brought the information to me.
Right?
Does the discussion ever happen?
Yeah.
No. But if I have a suggestion, we're going to discuss it.
100%.
We're going to have a meeting. We're going to talk about it, and I'm going to even with the funders. If I get unfortunately this time you didn't get it.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we have a meeting so I can figure out what you want in the next round? And they're like, Terry, you're really serious. I was like,
I am serious. Right,
What I do, I'm taking care of folks.
I'm serious.
And I'm in a community where I'm not taking just care of Hazelwood people. I'm just taking care of people. So you could tell me no. That doesn't mean anything.
It's momentary. Yeah, it's momentary. That no is momentary.
They get an email 2 days later. Oh, you're going to have a meeting? Yeah, I want to know what you look for.
I would like to talk. Yeah, I would like to discuss. Yeah.
I'll try it again.
And just even on that piece again, taking care of people, what do you think up to this point is the most successful thing you think JADA House has done for any one community?
In our community, I think it's the seniors. Getting them up and out since COVID had happened.
Right.
They're isolated.
Sure.
I remember, because we're going to try to go to the high rises now, because somebody seen my article in Public Source and they asked me, could you come up and talk to me about what we can help you with?
Right.
And I'm like, okay, but I'm thinking it's a conversation.
Right.
They wanted me to give a testimony how JADA House started.
Oh,
yeah. Say that.
Yeah, word.
So I had to prepare myself, shake it off, know. And I'm looking around and I'm seeing people in wheelchairs, and I'm seeing people in walkers, and I'm seeing people in, different stages of disability.
Right.
And I said, I got to come up here and come down there and see, how we can service these people. So that, to me, the seniors, to me, is the most rewarding job for me to, help them, move forward with their life, because their last days should be their best days. That's what I feel.
Absolutely.
They worked all their lives. And then the ones who didn't work, I don't even care.
Yeah, right.
Look out for them.
Absolutely.
Because somebody paved the way for me.
Was that intentional, or did you just kind of find yourself at, just kind of...
With my dad.
With my dad.
Because we were estranged, and he came to me one day and he said, can I stay? Like, where you been? What you mean? Can you stay? Where you been?
What a question. Yeah, where were you?
I didn't say it out loud.
Yeah, no, of course.
So I told my mom said, you take care of everybody else in the community. You don't want to take care of your dad? That hit. Like, right? Because I'm thinking she would say, oh, girl, he blah, blah, blah. She said, no, she said, take care of everybody else. You don't want to take care of your dad? So I said, come on in. And so...
that hit a little bit for me. I apologize. No, that's real though. That's real. It was real
to me.
Yeah. No. Fact. That's real.
So I said, come on in, and I made sure he had space, made sure he ate, made sure he, but he was kind of self-sufficient in the first year and a half or whatever. But then stuff started declining, so I didn't understand the dementia piece.
Right. It's tough too.
And I was not patient.
Right.
And I did get a caregiver to come in and help me out with him. But then COVID came, so because he came when I was still working.
Right.
So when COVID came, I was able to bring stuff home and work from home. It's easier for me to take care of him, make sure he had breakfast in the morning and lunch and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But when he passed away and I learned a little bit more about it, I said, I'm going to start something so
that's crazy.
Children can understand, and adults and the seniors too, because nutrition plays a good role with your brain too.
Of course.
Eating healthy.
Of course.
Stuff like that. So, and one thing that did happen when he came and stayed, but I made him talk a lot because I felt like we had a lot in common.
Yeah.
We got to learn each other. And he said something that was very profound, and I wish he would have said it when I was 16.
All right.
But he said, you're going to be something. You're going to do something. You're going to do great things. And I'm like, oh, Dad, you just, I'm thinking that's that dementia.
Yeah.
But he would tell different ones, my daughter takes real good care of me. Like, and I'm like, okay, made me cry and all that.
Bro, you about to make me cry. Like,
so I was like, okay. And that was when he said that, it just opened something up. So I had to go hard. I had to push hard. Right. So
no, that's beautiful, man. I think, and that's totally understandable. And again, shout out to your mother, and you for stepping up to the plate. But I think just like that word your mother gave you was powerful, man. I mean,
like what?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
That was a bar. That was a bar. Yeah, that was a bar. I was a bar. I'll get that to you. That was a bar. Don DeMarco. Yeah. So, and just even coming off that, and the senior piece aside, but if you want to look at it in totality, that's fine as well. But what would you say is the most fulfilling part of the work you do with JADA House?
Just making somebody happy. That's all. Just making them, because when we got done with our senior 8-week cohort, because we do 3 series.
Okay.
We're getting ready to start one more up in March, and it's an 8-week cohort. So when it was all done for the last one, the third one, the people were saying, how do I do on Wednesday night? Because it was every Wednesday.
Right, yeah.
We like coming out. Yeah. And then some of the ones from the first one and the second one came to third one because we didn't have something different. Right. We didn't have the same thing every cohort. Some of the stuff was the same, but then we were bringing new pieces so that they could, learn something different. And they all said, we learned a lot. This was really good. Can we come to the one next year? I said, bring somebody. You ain't getting $100, but you could bring somebody.
Yeah, word.
But, that's the rewarding piece for me when they like the cohort. Even the kids, we asked them, they said, you didn't have to pay us. I said, yeah, right. But they said, we would have came anyway, just for the food.
Yeah, there you go.
And I said, okay, but they really enjoyed. We had like biotech science in there where they looked at germs. We had the Master Building Association talking about construction.
That's dope.
We had the industrial artworks talking about welding. We had UPMC talking about construction. All this stuff we had them, because I try to make make the kids, I want to make them think outside the norm.
Absolutely.
You know, not just a regular doctor, lawyer, whatever, but some other trades that they can maybe when they get in high school, they can like, Miss Terri was talking about da-da-da-da. Maybe I should venture in this, or maybe I should venture in that.
I love it.
It's just planting seed everywhere I go. That's
and
all.
I think that is the single most important action, just in building community and enriching community. Because I don't know if you heard of Citizen Science Lab.
Yeah, we went there the other day.
Shout out to Andre Samuel. No, that's my guy, bro.
Yes.
But again, it's just coming from that standpoint. Because I was even talking to him, like we had him on the pod, and I was just even saying it's easy to look at kids in a marginalized community and just point the finger and be like, yo, like, look what they're doing. Look at, you know what I mean? But it's just like, if they don't have the resources to even think that they have an option to be like, man, let me stop bullshitting. Like, you know, like, let me see what they're doing at the Citizen Science Lab, see what they got going on, man. You know, JADA House got this program, man. Let me just even go check it out, man. Like, I ain't doing nothing, you know what I mean? And just even go. That could change a kid's their whole trajectory.
Exactly.
And it's just like, just even opening up that out. Like, I think.
There you go.
Just even, it's there. So you can at least say, you know what, back in the day, they did have that one program. Man, I should have checked that out, man. You know what? Maybe even for my kids, maybe that's an option. And it's just give them that, because you can't see a marginalized area and then point the finger and be like, yo, everyone that comes out there is this way, or like they're all on one thing, and all that's around. I mean, there's nothing surrounding them.
Exactly.
You know, and that's just the point of it all.
Like I said, in Hazelwood, we had different things to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of different things to do when I was growing up.
Sure, so.
They shut all those things off in our community.
Mm-hmm.
So why not we, as organizations, pop organizations, bring it back, but bring back something different. You know, nothing, you know, that they can easily be tangible. Something that's tangible, but when they see us, and I want them to see us doing these things so they can say, oh, I didn't know they did construction, or I didn't know they did science, or I didn't know they did X, Y, and Z.
Right.
So they, you know, they see that, because, you know, some of them want to be basketball players, football players.
Right.
Nothing's wrong with that.
But
it's talent, but
100%. But it's the thinking like, though, this is the only route I could go to get out of like my situation. Like it's not. Like we need scientists. We need people in, you know, engineering and tech and math. Like, you know,
exactly. And welding, because I'm on the industrial arts board. I just joined the board.
Yo, Terry's on like 98 bull. I respect it. Yeah, that's funny as hell.
And I went to visit, because it's in the neighborhood. So I said, okay, let me go visit and see what they're doing down here, you know. And it was our folks down there, you know, and I was happy because these kids were welding and they were loving what they were doing. They were making things, creating things, and they do beautiful work down there. And it's exciting for me, or it's refreshing for me to see our kids doing something they love to do.
Right, absolutely.
You know, we can't get them all, like I said, but we can get this. If we can get the select few or the one fish, I'm cool with that.
No, 100%. So I know, again, you know, you start off in the crib, but just apart from the physical aspects, after you change physical locations and, like, you know, got the space, how have you seen JADA House evolve just over like the last decade?
It really has evolved, because the space we had was at the Spartan Center on the 3rd floor.
Okay.
And
where's the Spartan Center at?
It used to be St. Stephen's School in Hazelwood. It's right on East Elizabeth Street.
Okay.
And excuse me, we stayed there for 7 years, but the last year and a half we weren't in there.
Okay.
Because we were on the 3rd floor and they don't have an elevator.
Oh, yeah.
Miss Terry's too old to walk steps. I mean, I did in the beginning.
Word, yeah.
Did a lot.
But now I would like a lift. I'd like a lift.
So when we finished PACE, the program PACE, which I have to really shout out, because we had a goal to meet, and it was capacity building.
Okay.
It was finding a space, and it was giving Terri a raise.
Shout out to that.
So we fulfilled all three. So, and the space right now that we're in is in the central part of Hazelwood, which is good.
Nice.
And it's real now. Like when I was in the Spartan Center, it was easy. You pay your rent, you didn't pay light, gas, none of that.
Yeah.
But now it's real, like dumpsters and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, and then trying to because somebody said to me, "You're doing all this work in there." I said, "I want it to be like, home for the community. I want it to be warm and welcoming, because our space upstairs that I had, the Spartan Center, it was nice. I had somebody come in and do some decorating and all that kind of stuff, and they did a good job. They had a section for the little kids, a section, because I was going to do little kids at first. I was like, oh no, that's too much. So I did just the bigger kids.
Yeah, right.
We had a microwave, a little mini stove. We had all kind of stuff in there that was conducive to us to not have to walk down to the first floor to get food up.
Yeah, right.
And then bring it back up to the third floor.
3 flights of stairs.
Right.
Golly.
But now, the space that we have now, there's painting getting done, which is awesome.
Okay,
and
nice.
I just applied for signage. So
nice.
Signage could be out there, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll see what happens.
What were some of the first programs under JADA House as you started?
Just the teen night at first, and then we had the women's adult, I want to say ministry.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give it its props. And we had the 3 annual events, community events.
Okay.
Which was the one is the blast off where we give away book bags to schools like school
Love
supplies,
that, yeah.
And we give away free haircuts, face painting.
100%.
We had exotic animals there one year, and the pit football team came, and cheerleaders, and it was really cool.
Yeah.
And then we have the senior luncheon where we give them a catered meal. We have a guest speaker. We have live jazz or something.
Okay, that's dope.
We have healthy screenings. Who would come and do healthy screenings. Pit would give away blood pressure cups, and then we would raffle off gift cards, and we would just love on the seniors for a day.
Right.
And then we have our love gift giveaway, which is our Christmas at the end. That's the least one I don't like, but I do it because somebody got to do it.
Why don't you like that?
It's kind of hectic with everybody.
I mean, fair. I mean, 100%, yeah. But especially around that time.
I do it, too, because it's needed.
Of course, yeah.
It's needed.
Yeah.
So we do that, and those are our 3 annual events that we've been doing for the past 10 years.
Right. How was it seeing, again, just the impact these programs and these events have on people?
It did a lot because 2024 is going fast.
Yo, tell me about it.
Wow.
Tell me about it.
2024 in October, we celebrated 10 years, right?
Crazy,
so we did a big, thing. So we didn't do our blast off. We didn't do our senior luncheon. We didn't do our Christmas. I had so many phone calls and so many emails.
Yeah.
Like, you're not doing the blast off this year. You're not doing this. So that let me know that they really enjoyed that time.
Absolutely.
And I had one girl come to me and say, I love your events because they're organized. You give away food, you give away gift cards, bikes, whatever, whatever I can get my hands on to give away. I remember New York Furs or New York Coast or something did a pilot on trying to give away coats.
Okay.
And I thought it was a scam because they had furs and they had down coats and all that.
Of course. Who's selling furs on Pan Am?
So they was like, if you have a shelter or something, we give away coats.
Okay.
So I wrote them. I said, I don't have a shelter, but I do a Christmas drive. And they was like, okay. So they gave me 2, 4, 6 coats, down coats, different sizes. I only had to pay shipping and handling, which was $35. That's it.
That's love,
And those coats were $400 a piece.
That's love.
We raffled them off.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't give them away. So
yeah,
we raffled them off. So whatever I can get my hands on, I try to just give away. And then there's things that I don't take home. Okay, everybody got what they needed? Okay, you can go back and get it all and then, so it's gone.
Yeah.
So that's just a heart thing.
Yeah.
It's just what I like to do.
100%.
I mean, I'm not hurting. And my kids get mad, like, Mom, you didn't call us and tell us you was giving away toys or whatever. I was like, yeah, you got to come get it.
Yeah.
You got to come. So once they get theirs, then I'm done. And the community gets theirs. And I had to tell the board members, the beginning ones, can we save something for the community?
Right.
Can we? So, like giving it away.
Yeah. When, I'm just, cause it's like, what would you say the ultimate goal for JADA House is? Like where do you want to ultimately see, your efforts culminate to? Or is it a location for you? Is it an event for you?
It's the location. And my mother just asked me, like, you're getting older. Who would you leave it to? So that's my next thing. Like, who can take over the legacy.
Right.
Because I keep getting these prophetic words that, you're leaving a legacy. I'm like, which one of them? There's a lot of them I got.
Yeah, right, yeah.
But I see certain ones that are watching me.
Yeah.
Now you really sow into people. I had my granddaughter text me today and say, you really pour into people. Thanks for believing in me. I just got a job, blah, 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 blah.
Wow.
Like, oh, congratulations, And, I know they're not ready yet, but I'm trying to just keep showing them what can happen if you're persistent.
Right.
Anything you want to do, you can do.
Right.
And especially, because they asked, was a grant, asked me AAP, ARP, whatever it's called for the old folks. When did I start? Did you start in your 50s? I started at 53.
Wow.
JADA House.
Wow.
So there's nothing that you can't do if you don't put your heart and mind to it. And like I said, I used to ask that question, Lord, why did you wait till this long? But I wouldn't have listened. I was doing me. I was doing a lot of me. So once I figured out that me wasn't it.
Yeah, once I figured out what me wasn't it. That's a jewel, just keep the jewels when you can. Elder Shields, I just want to, first off, thank you so much for joining us. This was an incredible discussion. I think this is one of, I'm known for saying this after damn near every episode, but this is truly, just such an enriching conversation. Like I literally just love talking to you. It's just a dope conversation. So this is just the point in the pod where if you have anything you want to plug, where they can find JADA House online, if you want people to follow you on social media, any upcoming events you have, please let the people know. But the floor is yours. And again, I can't even express enough how grateful I am for you to come up here. I know you're a busy woman.
Well, thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
And also, we are going to do a soft launch at our space 4944 2nd Avenue for Black History Month, February 28th from 4 to 6. We're going to have storytelling. We're going to have steel drums. We're going to have art. We're going to have a lot to offer the community at that time. Then we'll do our grand opening in March, March the 18th. And then what else? And if you want to donate for renovations, or if you can volunteer to do some renovation work, we'll take whatever. Or volunteer to help us with our programs, we'll take that too. We'll take whatever you can offer us, and you can reach us at www.jadahouseInternational.com.
Love that. Again, thank you so much. MIC Podcast, episode 148, where one is a master of their own creation. We got Elder Terri Shields in the building. And Elder Shields, if you see me run down on you for a plate, do not be alarmed. I'm just hungry that day. So please, just stick with me. Appreciate y'all, man. Peace.